pinpointing the risk of sun exposure. These academics are worried about their recent findings that sun protection is sorely lacking at local secondary sports events. That's based on 10 athletic days held in the city last summer.
The sun protection practices in secondary schools are very poor, so there's quite a lot of work that needs to be done, and we think that needs to be done not at an individual level but at a sort of policy, environmental, institutional level, so that we're not trying to change the behaviour of individual students but just sort of policies within schools.
Only 3% of the students wore sun protective hats while waiting to compete, and only a quarter of adult supervisors were similarly covered. Half the schools involved provided sunscreen, but the sports grounds themselves were mostly without shade. Researchers say that's something the Dunedin City Council could address.
We definitely think that that's something the council could address, and that would benefit not only students, current students, but students for years and years to come.
These academics work in the university's Cancer Society Social and Behavioural Research Unit. They've also just studied sun protection habits within 211 secondary schools nationwide. The average institution scored points on less than half the different measures involved.
There's definitely room for improvement, yes, because at a score of 11, the total that they could achieve, the mean score was 4.6. So they didn't get a reach a pass mark, if you want to look at it that way. But we don't really want to mark schools down and blame schools for things that are happening, because we think they're under-resourced.
A significant amount of adolescent sun exposure happens at school when ultraviolet radiation is at its peak. It's something these researchers want the wider community to acknowledge and address in the prevention of skin cancer. Rosie Mannins, 39, Dunedin News.